the cops are probably part of the clientele.
How many celebrities admit right on television?
I mean, you have Wiz Khalifa who does music videos. He has ounces of marijuana sitting in front of him. He's rolling blunts, filling bowls, doing these things, and he's only been arrested one time at a concert. One time, and like you can't tell me that that's evidence.
He's never sober.
Never.
He's never sober.
Never. Snoop Dogg. You can't tell me that Snoop Dogg is ever sober on a given day.
And
Well, I remember going to a Grateful Dead concert back in the early 80s.
Oh yeah, it was still legal.
Late 80s, early 90s.
It was still legal.
And I remember at Madison Square Garden, in fact, and I remember that you got double doors to go into the arena. You're out in the hallway, and we were hanging out in the hallway, and when you opened the door,
yeah,
I mean, the smell just like bowled you over. You had to force your way into the arena because the marijuana smell was overwhelming. And that's the least of what anybody was doing. I mean, they were, people were openly like passing out, LSD. That was no big deal. You had to drop some acid if you're going to go to a Dead show.
But I mean, it's the same thing here in Georgia. Even now, there's certain clubs you can go to.
It's part of the culture.
Where you walk in and you smell the.
I mean, it's common. Like I know people who go in with already ready. Like guys check you, they're not checking you for drugs. Like you have people who know the bouncers, know the security guys.
If they did, there wouldn't be anybody at the concert.
Well, there you go.
So how does this transition bring to our next point? Why is marijuana not legal? If it has so many ups and downs, it's okay here, but it's not okay here. People are doing it here, it's common, but over here you're getting a felony. Why is it so hard for the government to bridge this gap?
Well, my answer is look at the people who are in the legislature, where you are. If you have a legislature that has majority old white guys in their 50s, their 60s, and their 70s.
They smoke too.
Yeah, but they're doing it as well.
Yeah, but they're hypocrites. They do drugs too, but they're hypocrites. That's the difference between that generation and the generation, behind us. Vinny's generation, the kids in the 20s and the 30s. To me, y'all are kids. They're not hypocrites. Y'all aren't hypocrites. You have embraced it, and you pretty much have integrated it into your lifestyle, and it's not that big a deal to y'all. Just like interracial marriage isn't a big deal for them, but people my age, you still see eyebrows being raised. Oh my goodness, a black man with a white woman. That's America. Just wait until these old fogies die off, and trust me. Marijuana won't be a big deal. I compare it to the age of Prohibition. You still had people who were born in the 19th century that were implementing these laws. And finally, it just got to the point where it was just like, man, you're just going to have to put it back on because people are not going to go without drinking.
How many do you think, which one does worse, do you think kills more people, alcohol or marijuana?
Oh, alcohol by leaps and bounds.
Far. You've never heard anybody overdose on marijuana.
And we haven't even brought up cigarettes.
Another question. I believe, I'm not sure about this thing, but some places it actually is legal. Is that true?
Well, it's not
medical.
It's not legal to use marijuana unless you have a prescription. Yeah. But it's so easy. I know in areas like I have a friend from Portland. It's so easy for them to get a prescription there from people. You don't even have to go to a doctor.
Right.
You can just buy it off of somebody and then go to these medical marijuana dispensaries and you can get as much as you want.
Yeah. Same thing in Michigan now. In Michigan, I'm from Michigan, and in the past 3 years, we've got medical marijuana dispensaries, and it blew my mind because I'm like, what? To see these places, and they're like 24 hours to be driving, and you pass CVS, you pass the Kroger's, and then you see the dispensary, like, wait a minute, there used to be a Popeyes. I remember that. But, a lot of my friends.
Well, Popeyes might be next door.
Right, they need to put it next door.
Oh yeah, when having to get the munchies.
Absolutely.
Does that happen?
That's a great business plan.
What, munchies?
After marijuana?
All the time.
Oh yeah, you chew your hands off. Not that I know her.
Not that we would know anything about this.
But no, I have some friends back home, and they was like, "Oh yeah, man, I just go to my doctor, complain about back issues, complain about." They make stuff up. It's fun for them. Like when I was at my buddy's house, it was a group of people trying to convince another friend of an injury, and they're like, "No, go in there with your wrist. No, do back though. You tell them your back hurts, you get a license quick." And these were guys that were dealers. So they actually, for them, it was like, oh yeah, I'm about to corner the market. Because of these dispensaries, they have different strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I went in with my buddy, and they had like the top shelf, just like with liquor, top shelf,
right,
and all the way to the bottom, the cheap stuff versus the high octane stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a surreal moment for me. I felt like I was watching like Half Baked, like Wowie.
Dave Chappelle again.
Dave Chappelle again.
Sorry, Wolf.
Sorry, Wolf.
And by the way, we have coworkers at our job that have medical marijuana cards.
That wouldn't surprise me. We know exactly who we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The other
Puerto Rican.
And Puerto Ricans, man.
But I've been to Jamaica, and even when I was in Jamaica, I went in.
Jamaicans do it?
I went in 2006, and they had little signs, little small signs posted up like marijuana is illegal. And I asked somebody, like, it's illegal here? And they're like, no, just certain areas. Just the clean tourist areas, they didn't want people smoking because it gave them a bad image for their tourism. I get that. But you go to the beach, and it was cops patrolling the beach, and there was people rolling up right there. And I was scared for them, like, they don't see that cop right there? You know, I'm in the United States mindset, like, it's a cop patrolling. And the dude rolled up probably the fattest blunt I've seen anybody ever roll. He was an older gentleman. He had a gray beard and everything. He just sat back and smoked it. And I seen more people doing it, and I was just sitting there like, I'm confused. When I got here, y'all said it technically is illegal. And then I started talking to locals, and they're like, oh, it's just certain areas. There's certain areas where they don't want you to smoke.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is a good thing, but I still couldn't get the fear out of me. Like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
I mean, like Lou said, like my dad said, it's the same thing with interracial marriage. It's a thing that the culture has to get used to, you know. And I think that the older folk, you know, the people who came from the era where it was, you know, taboo, you know, where it was terrible. You know, you have these commercials where you know above the influence and all this stuff. You know, like some of these commercials, don't get me wrong, they're a good thing, but at the same time, they're not relevant to what we know today.
And they're unrealistic.
They're very unrealistic.
But I guess again, those are for younger viewers.
Well, I don't take away from that. I think that younger people shouldn't. You know, I think it should be taken away from our children. Right. You know, it's not a thing. It's not for kids. It's not for kids. Right. But you can't sit here and tell a grown man that he can't roll up a blunt. The same way you can tell a military man who's 18, 19 years old that he can't have a glass of scotch. Mm-hmm. You know, that's another thing.
And in the military, they get all the drugs, all that traveling through all the different countries.
Well, I mean, look at the Vietnam War. When the Vietnam War was on, where was all the drugs coming to America from? You know, I've seen American Gangster.
Yes,
you know,
yes, sir. And that's just crazy, man. So
more movie references. We have to do a movie show.
Yeah. We actually can go right into that topic after this one, because I was actually thinking that we haven't covered movies at all. But I'm going to end this segment on just saying, legalize it. Make it 21 and up, just like you did alcohol. And just watch how things transpire, because there are a lot of people from every social class that participate in illegal drugs. It's not just people always associate it with the poor, but it's not. No, some of the most,
it's
the
more
richest,
so in the wealthy.
Huh?
It's
yeah.
a lot.
Because these people have the money to get it.
Right.
They're the ones selling it to the poor.
It's not like these drugs are cheap, okay? It's not.
I would love the day where I could walk into like a dispensary and see like Ted Turner. And they're like, hey, how you doing, Jim? My usual. I would that to me would just be like a moment where I could just explode into a million pieces and just go like, thank you, Lord.
In total happiness, you know. In total happiness.
And that's what happened when prohibition was eliminated, was eradicated. People forget that there was a time when alcohol was illegal, and you had to go to these speakeasies to go have a drink.
Well,
and it seems ludicrous to us now to think, oh my gosh. Trust me, in 50 years, people will be saying the same thing. Oh, that was ludicrous. Really? They'd stop you for smoking a blunt?
Probably less than that.
I feel bad for all the people who are doing time, and by the time they get out, it'll be like legal. Like, how do you explain that to them?
Well, what a nice way to welcome yourself out. You know?
Sorry, we put you away for 20 years for this.
You know,
Here's a
here you go.
free road.
Well, that's a big problem in the jail system also, is that you have a lot of the jail population is exploding with people who are being put away for these small amounts of drugs, and people are like, why is this person getting 25 years for having a half an ounce of marijuana on
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Man, you have people in the jails who are smoking marijuana. You have
In
people.
jail.
You have people in jail smoking
supplied
being
by
supplied
the guards.
You know, they're getting these drugs. It's everywhere.
It's
you know,
everywhere.
and like I feel like you said with prohibition, it's come to a point where people have gone to such lengths to supply. You know, the demand is so high. People have gone to extreme lengths to supply these people with this drug that, of course, is going to cause problems. All right, and it is, and now it's at a national stage. I feel like it needed to be that way for years. You know, this is just my personal belief. You know, I don't think this is really what it is, but from what I heard and what I've read, I really believe it's because of the hemp industry. You know, the industry of hemp. Hemp is part of the marijuana plant.
Right.
You know, it can be used for clothing, for rope,
Lotion,
all types of things.
Yep.
You know, but it's not big business.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That
It's
makes
not.
sense.
It's not big business. So of course, people wouldn't want it to be big because then you could use it for cheap manufacturing.
Yeah.
You know, all types of things.
That
But
makes sense, man. Very educated young man over here.
I mean, I try to get all the information before I just try to speak out about
Right. That's
BS.
what you should do.
You know what the Indians were smoking in the peace pipe?
Oh yeah, that's why it was a peace pipe. That's why it wasn't a war pipe.
Well, I'm saying, look at even the Chinese opium. Opium was huge.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the same thing as? See, I don't know exactly what opium is.
Opium's pretty strong.
It's a little bit stronger.
It's strong.
Okay.
Everything's stronger out there.
Hey,
Can anybody, no matter what shape I'm in, can a crackhead beat Flojo in a race?
yes.
Yes.
I mean, if there's a ball of crack at the end of the race, yes.
There you go. And
If there's a rock sitting there.
at all.
See that crack over there? Go get it.
Go get it. I mean, but it's like a dog. If you make a dog hungry enough, you put a slice of meat right there, he'll outrun a goddamn cheetah. You know, to get that piece of meat.
Then you just supported my point. So I need you to kick as high as you can.
I need you to kick as high as you can. Drugs are everywhere, man. So, do you guys think this will happen within our next presidential term?
I feel like Obama in this next presidential term, he's going to have to answer to that question.
I'm about to say he's going to at least have to address it.
Yeah, he's going to have to address it. Like, it's going to be, there's enough people right now, there's enough organizations right now where they really want some type of legislation.
Yeah.
At least to take down
Absolutely.
jail time, because it's ridiculous.
And I mean, because look at really the benchmark has been California. California has stepped out to the forefront as far as the United States, more than anybody. As far as, I remember I was reading that they said as long as you have under an ounce, it's a misdemeanor.
Yes.
That's big. That's big.
Well,
you know
well-
how you can cut that up and be straight?
Well, I've heard in some cases that I'm not sure of this. I've never lived in California area. This is just what I've read and what I've heard.
Right.
I've heard that, you know, if you have a certain amount, a low enough amount, you won't even get arrested. You'll just simply get a ticket.
A ticket, yeah, absolutely.
Like, and I feel like that's perfect.
Right.
You know, that should be, it shouldn't be where you have to go to jail, go through the system. Taxpayers' dollars are getting wasted.
And Georgia is one of the biggest states for overpopulated prisons and jails, just so people know. So yeah, man, something needs to be done. Let your people be happy. I feel like it would be so much more of a mellow, peaceful working environment. People that work jobs that they absolutely hate, it would not bother them half as much. If they were a bit more relaxed going to work. So we're gonna transition out of this. That's our drug segment. You know, and if you have anything that you heard that we're not absolutely correct on, let us know. because we're not experts. You know, we're just giving our educated opinions.
Right, we wouldn't know this from experience.
Right, absolutely. You know, we all drink water and eat fruit like wolves.
Like wolf.
Take out vegetables.
So Lou brought up a good one. I don't want to let it ride. Movies, man. I got a good question. It's just just a little tidbit for the fans. What's the best and worst movie you've ever seen? Because I can automatically think of it off the top of my head. Let me hear it, Wolf.
Right now, I think the best movie I've seen